In the headlines, security operatives kill dozens of bandits, arrest 2 in Bauchi. Court stops DSS, police, CCB from investigating INEC chairman. Couple found dead in Kanu after inhaling charcoal smoke. And on the foreign scene, EU recommends pre-departure COVID tests for passengers from China. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. We begin with matters of security, where operatives of the Bauchi State Police Command have reportedly killed several bandits and kidnappers during a gun battle at the Yankari Game Reserve Forest in the Al-Kareri local government area of the state. The State Police Public Relations Officer Ahmed Wakil, in a statement on Wednesday, said the command recovered 2 AK-47 rifles from the bandits. He said during the daring operation, several bandits were neutralized and dislodged from their enclaves, while the remaining sprinted in disarray into the deep forests with possible bullet wounds. He added that operatives of the Anti-Kidnapping Unit, Base 4 of the command, arrested 2 suspects who confessed to have kidnapped 4 people and camped them at the Yankari Game Reserve and collected a ransom of 20 million. Meanwhile, the police in Zamfara State have neutralized 1 bandit and arrested 6 others for alleged banditry, kidnapping and cattle rustling. The incident happened while operatives were on a confidence-building patrol along Gusau Magami Ansado Road. Statement from the command's public relations officer, Muhammad Shehu, said the operatives also recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 104 rounds of live ammunition and 2 magazines for AK-47 and a bunch of charms. Shehu, while briefing journalists on the command's activities in the new year, said they also repelled bandits' attack at a community in Gusau and Maru local government areas, and also arrested 2 suspected bandits for kidnapping and cattle rustling in Zamfara, Katsina and Niger states. Shehu also said the command in the period under review arrested Abu Umaru of Doka village in Gusau for banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, among other heinous crimes along Gusau-Tsafe Road, among others. He said all arrested suspects will be charged to court for prosecution on completion of investigation.
We have the exhibits that was recovered by the police, which you can see the dried leaf suspected to be Indian hemp and some different type of hard drugs. Between 12 and 13 November 2022, police operatives, while on surveillance patrol using the Gusau Metro, intercepted and arrested the aforementioned suspect. On spot search, large quantity of dried leaf suspected to be Indian hemp and different types of hard drugs were recovered in their possession.
A federal high court in Abuja has stopped an application seeking to remove the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, from office over alleged false asset declaration. Justice Hassan on Wednesday refused the application alongside 14 reliefs sought by the claimants. The judge held that Professor Yakubu's asset declaration was lawful, valid and in compliance with the law. He barred the Department of State Services, the Nigeria Police and the Code of Conduct Bureau from investigating and arresting Yakubu. Professor Yakubu, in his response to the allegation, presented details of his filings before the court with exhibits showing the sources of money for the purchase of the properties which the plaintiff alleged were illegally acquired, and insisted that his asset declaration was not validly done. The Department of State Services says it has arrested the mastermind of the vehicle-borne improvised explosive device attack, which occurred on the 29th of December 2022 near the palace of the Ohinoi of Ibera Land in Okene, Kogi State, during the visit of President Muhammadu Buhari to commission some projects. The service, in a statement by its public relations officer, Peter Afunaya, said it arrested Abdulmumin Ibrahim Otaru and one of his associates, Saeed Suleiman, on the 3rd of January 2023. Otaru, who sustained a gunshot injury to his left foot while attempting to escape, is currently receiving treatment at a health facility. The statement added that during the investigations, it was ascertained that Otaru was a high commander of the Islamic State for West Africa province and either coordinated or was involved in the 24th of June 2022 attack on the Police Area Command, Eka Ohezenyi local government area of Kogi State. On the 5th of July 2022, the attack on Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center in the Kuje Area Council of the FCT, and the 5th of August 2022 attack on the West African Ceramics Limited in Ajaokuta local government in Kogi. The service reiterated its commitment to the safety of the nation and assured of working with stakeholders, including sister security agencies, to tackle the menace of terrorism and other forms of criminality and threats to national security. And now to politics, where leaders of the People's Democratic Party in the Southwest want party supporters in Oyo State to back the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and not listen to the group of 5 governors known as the Integrity Group. Former Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory, Jumoke Akinjide, made the appeal in Ibadan during a solidarity rally in honor of the PDP presidential candidate. The report.
It's a solidarity rally to mobilize support for the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The mammoth crowd marched across the Ibadan metropolis from the Agodi Gate area to the ancient Makbo Hall, where they were received by party leaders. Addressing the crowd, leaders of the PDP described Atiku Abubakar as the most qualified to reposition Nigeria to the path of socio-economic development.
Our leader, Atiku Abubakar, who is going to be our next president, will be here at the Mapo Hall on the 23rd of this month, hopefully. We would pray for him, and I am optimistic he would be victorious at the polls.
One thing I'm confident of is that of all the presidential candidates, none of them has the experience, the knowledge and capacity to pilot the affairs of Nigeria like Atiku Abubakar. Atiku was our former vice president, and I'm confident he will perform.
Yoruba land used to be the cradle for qualitative knowledge and education, and that's no longer the situation. But when Atiku becomes president, things will change for better and for good.
Worried about the antics of the G5 governors who are opposed to the continued stay of the PDP National Chairman Iyorchia Ayu, former Minister of State for the FCT Jumoke Akinjide urged the electorate to reject any other candidate other than Atiku Abubakar.
Atiku Abubakar said when he is president, we will have electric power, we will have education, we will have water, we will become the first country in Africa and a leader of the world. Nigeria is supposed to lead the black world all over the world.
Leadership of the People's Democratic Party in Oyo State are split between the party presidential candidate and the state governor, Seyi Makinde, who is opposed to Atiku Abubakar.
Now, the increasing popularity of cesarean section delivery among women has been largely attributed to factors such as genuine medical reasons, social considerations, as well as unethical motives by obstetricians to generate profit. Experts nonetheless maintain that it should only be done when medically advised, with a potential for reducing maternal mortalities. There are, however, some concerns, but it has become a preferred option among some expectant mothers. The report.
Cesarean section, better known as CS, is popular among expectant mothers hoping to escape the excruciating pains of labor. However, experts say it is only essential in situations such as prolonged or obstructed labor, fetal distress, among others.
We can have eclampsia or preeclampsia. Preeclampsia is basically when there is high blood pressure plus the presence of protein in our urine, and then eclampsia plus seizures. Because once a human has high blood pressure, we keep on trying to bring down the blood pressure. And if we can't do the blood pressure, then that's just definitely CS.
Lucy Luzar Olanio says despite her fears, she had to go through a cesarean section delivery due to complications that affected one of her twin babies in her third trimester.
When it was almost time for me to put to bed, like when it was almost my due day, the doctors confirmed that one of the child was breech. So that was why they suggested that I go through a cesarean section. But for the sake of the child, because you need to save your life and also the life of that child.
Lucy says although CS delivery is fast and smooth, post-surgery healing is a challenge.
But the disadvantage is the healing process. For me, the healing process was a disadvantage part for me because it takes a longer time for you to heal than when you give birth the normal way. I get to feel pain once in a while though, you know, beneath where they cut me, I used to feel pain sometimes.
Each individual, they have their own time to heal. But in the hospital, we look at the injury for about 2 to 3 days, and then we see that your baby is okay, you're making good progress. We check your blood level, everything is fine. And then we check the injury, no form of any infection, is clean and is dry. During the procedure, there can be an injury somewhere that they shouldn't expect. That one could also be a complication too as well.
Contrary to popular beliefs in some quarters, different religions advocate medical intervention when necessary.
God does not hinder anybody who wants to go under cesarean section to be involved in it. But if you have a leading, you have a conviction in your heart that God tells you that you will deliver without cesarean section, that one is your conviction.
While a cesarean section can be an essential and life-saving surgery, it can equally be harmful if carried out when there is no medical need. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The State Controller of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Jigawa State Command, Ahmed Dauda Bagari, has said 6 victims of human trafficking were rescued recently in Babura town along Nigeria-Niger Republic borders. Briefing reporters at the command headquarters in Dutse, DCI Mohammed Idris, on behalf of the State Controller, handed the victims over to NAPTIP for further investigation. He said the victims were rescued on January 1st, 2023 in an uncompleted building in Babura town on their way to Libya. He said 5 female victims came from Oyo State and the only male came from Nasarawa State. DCI Idris said there were no incriminating items or drugs found in their possession upon their interrogation, and they were rescued by the NIS men. The dethronement of Bello Kirfi as the Wazir in Bauchi is generating mixed feelings among residents of Bauchi State. Bauchi Emirate Council announced the removal of the traditional title holder for being disloyal to the state governor, Bala Muhammad. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports.
Bello Kirfi, a former minister in the Second Republic, was stripped of the title of Wazir in Bauchi, a senior councillor and a kingmaker in the emirate for involvement in politics. The letter of his removal was signed by the council secretary, Shehu Mudi Muhammad. Some residents of the state said the development could affect the reputation of the traditional institution that is supposed to be insulated from partisan politics.
It's unfortunate. A politician can just remove a traditional ruler. I think something has to be done. A line has to be drawn. The traditional rulers, the politician, and the rest. So it's just unfortunate. I hope the issue will be settled amicably. I am not happy with the situation, honestly. I'm not happy.
He also said that the traditional institution and the government should not be seen working at cross purposes.
The civil servant, they do not have any party or the government but the government of the day. So anything that goes against the government of the day cannot be, to my own opinion, is not welcome. Just keep your idea and stay safe, maybe for the time being.
Others, however, said the governor should not have influenced removal of a respected traditional title holder in the state.
I can't even say I'm not happy, and the people they are not happy. They're supposed to think before they do. Then also they have to find out about what somebody doing. You could just pick somebody just like that.
I'm not happy at all. What happened to him is unfortunate. The best idea for me, those politicians, they should mind themselves.
The development in Bauchi State is ahead of any politician or any stakeholder. Wazirin Bauchi, Bello Kirfi, is the elder of Bauchi State. In the elder of Nigeria in general.
One political aide to the governor, as well as the Commissioner for Cooperatives and Small and Medium Enterprises, Saadatu Bello Kirfi, have resigned their appointments barely 24 hours after the Wazir of Bauchi was removed from office. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Still with us on Trust TV News Update. Still ahead. We'll show you how Adamawa community struggles with water scarcity. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Daily Trust presents 20th Daily Trust Dialogue. Theme: Interrogating the 2023 Presidential Agenda. Panelists: Professor Jibrin Ibrahim, Professor of Political Science and member of the board of the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD. Dr. Yetunde Anibaba, Lecturer, Analysis of Business Problems, Lagos Business School. Dr. Eugene Enahoro, Human Capacity Development Specialist and CEO, Heltoni Services Limited. Date: Thursday, 25th January 2023. Time: 10 a.m. Venue: NAF Conference Center and Suites, Gwarimpa Expressway, near Next Shopping Mall, Kado, Abuja. For sponsorship and branding participation, contact 081 00 49 1948, 081 65 32 06 60, or 080 33 92 8902. The event will be broadcast live on Trust TV.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's recap our top stories. Security operatives killed dozens of bandits, arrest 2 in Bauchi. And court stops DSS, police, CCB from investigating INEC chairman. And moving on to other news now. A husband and wife identified as Suleiman Idris, aged 28, and Maimuna Haliru, aged 20, have been found dead in their matrimonial bed after smoke suspected to be from charcoal suffocated them while they were sleeping in Kano State. The incident happened on Tuesday in Kwa village of Dawakintofa local government area of the state, after the couple were noticed not to have come out of their room around 11 a.m. Confirming the incident, the State Police Command said they were later found dead after the grandmother of the husband forced the door of their room open and discovered the couple motionless on their bed with smoke odor in the room. Spokesman of the command, SP Abdullahi Haruna Kiawa, said the victims were removed from the scene and rushed to the Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital, Kano, where a medical doctor confirmed them dead. He said on preliminary investigation, it was discovered that the deceased couple lit a charcoal fire to warm their room due to cold weather, locked up and got suffocated by the smoke which emanated from the charcoal burning while they were asleep. However, an investigation is still in process. Kiawa added that the Commissioner of Police advised the people of Kano State on the need to be careful while using fire, electricity and take safety measures as the Harmattan season is associated with the risk of fire outbreaks. At least 75% of Bari community in Numan local government area of Adamawa State lack potable drinking water. This situation has exposed individuals in the community to various waterborne diseases. Salis Lawan visited the community and files in this report.
This is a daily routine for this young pregnant woman, Grace Marcos. She treks miles to fetch water from this river. Bari is one community in Numan local government of Adamawa that has a large percentage of educated people, and they are also rich in culture. Authorities in the area said the community has fertile farmlands that contribute immensely to the economic development of the state, yet the population has no clean drinking water and are always vulnerable to waterborne and other communicable diseases. This is their major source of drinking water, the Boza River.
Well, we have the problem of water in this our area, and we are begging government to help us bring balls and some things that can help us to get water inside our area.
The residents, however, appeal to government to come to their aid, as lack of access to safe water affect the physical well-being of women and children who have no choice but to carry heavy vessels long distances. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
Now to election matters. With less than 2 months to the 2023 general elections, collection of PVCs has peaked across the country as registered voters queue to get their cards. At the collection centres, issues of stress in the process and how Nigerians are responding to the call to collect their PVCs, as well as questions of whether INEC is living up to expectations in the distribution exercise, always dominate discourse, as Nigerians spend long hours to get their cards. Noel Sampson has more.
With the elections drawing closer, more Nigerians are rushing to collect the PVCs to enable votes for their preferred candidates at the polls. However, some individuals are reporting unpleasant experiences at the collections venues.
Yeah, it's been stressful actually, you know. You come in and there are a lot of people and it's not just easy. So that's how it's been, and it's been stressful. Like, for instance, you have to come write down your name in a list, and before your names are being called and you're given numbers, that's when you can even go into the INEC office before other processes follow. So, and under this scorching sun, lots of people, and you have other things to do. So it's basically stressful.
I was there yesterday, but nobody was attending to us. They said they were closed around 3 or thereabout. So today I had to come back for it. So I've been around here for like, say, 2 hours. Basically, I think the organization is very poor. Because for me, though that would be like crying over a spilled milk. However, the organization is very poor because most of the things that are done here to coordinate is done by the said prospective voters, if I might use that word. So they are the ones that is trying to help themselves organize the queue and do what they could do to see how they effectively get their PVC.
Although some have unpleasant tales of the exercise, others who have collected the voters' card hailed the process as swift.
Normally, we only face a little challenges of coming in because of the crowd
because INEC have been telling people they should come and collect their PVC. They have been making announcements from every various places, but people are very difficult to come and pick their card. It's about they had information. INEC they explained more than 3 weeks before giving out from the card. That is why people you see them coming.
No, the process is okay by me. Though human being, to control human being is difficult. So the crowd to control them is difficult. But as I came less than 5 minutes, I collected my own. So it was not stressful.
Meanwhile, those who are waiting to collect the PVCs have appealed to INEC to come up with more innovative ways of distributing the PVCs in order to reduce the number of man-hours wasted during the process. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now for a look at the foreign scene, where the European Union has strongly encouraged its member states to introduce pre-departure COVID-19 tests for all passengers flying in from China. The recommendation on Wednesday came as Beijing plans to ease travel restrictions for its residents on January 8th, despite a wave of new infections that has overwhelmed Chinese hospitals and funeral homes. Among EU countries, France, Italy and Spain already require travelers from China to present negative test results before boarding, with the European Council, after a week of talks between health experts, stopped short of agreeing that all 27 member states impose such measures. The bloc said it took this approach considering the need for sufficient reliable data and also recommended face masks for all passengers traveling to and from China. Member states were also encouraged to carry out random testing of passengers and test wastewater from planes arriving from China to check for dangerous variants that are not common in Europe. Italy and France are already testing Chinese passengers on arrival, while Austria said it will test wastewater from all flights from China as of next week. And in sports, the 20 clubs in the Nigeria Professional Football League will receive 10 million naira each on Thursday in Abuja as take-off grants from the Interim Management Committee, ahead of the 2022-23 season billed to kick off on January 8th. In a statement, the chairman of the IMC, Benga Elegbeleye, said the presentation ceremony will have in attendance the NFF President Ibrahim Gusau to address all stakeholders ahead of the start of the season to assure them of the completion of the season to meet the calendar. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.